Hey all, Double 18 Set Shadow here. This is going to be the weekend of the Grand Showdown, which they're doing the Grand Showdowns in different regions almost simultaneously this time around. Previously, there were opportunities for you to travel to each of the Grand Showdowns because they were being held at different times, although I think they were all being held in the same month regardless. But this time around, they're all basically being handled over the same weekend, so it is inconceivable that you would be able to attend all three of them, and so you'll have to pick whichever is closest to you. I know a friend of mine who is going to who be actually there are at least two people I know who should be going to the one here in the close to the yeah, it's in Arizona. So for the United States one, I won't be attending that one. I actually haven't attended a Grand Showdown yet. In my case, I usually don't really travel for a lot of these events, so I just tend to stay in place. If they have one that's close enough, well, maybe I'll consider it at some point. But for this one, the big prize card this time around is going to be Zelgania, Oh Great World, so basically the world, and it's going to be the advanced version of the card and has an alt art associated with it. And what one of the participation promos, in addition to a top promo, is going to be an alt art of Nature's Guidance. There's also Celia to be aware of, and those are the overall prizings that you can get. There is an entry fee for this tournament, but as part of entry, you get a playmat and a box featuring Zelgania on it. So, for all of you participating, good luck, have fun, and let's see where we go. And I don't believe set 11 is going to be legal for that one. I still think it is a week out after release before you can actually play it. So, as I mentioned before, you will be able to play it for the first of the BCS regionals that will happen in Rosemont, Illinois, but you won't be able to use it for the Grand Showdown. Blue Storm's Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom. This is the promo version of the card that is the winner promo for the Cardfight Vanguard collaboration tournaments. So, sealed deck tournaments, or I should say sealed pack. This one is on the market now for $42 with 3 listings, and there are 3 listings overall with that range from $42 all the way to $100 right now. 2 of them are basically 50 and under. I don't anticipate that this one is going to be able to move too well, given that Aquaforce is not very popular over here right now. Now to talk about the other half of the sealed stuff. I'm not going over everything that we've got, but let's go ahead and take a look at what is here. Let's start with set 1, Advent to Genesis, the set that started off the whole game. So, this is the only one that has a difference in terms of its listings for printings on TCG Player. The first print of this pack had promotional material in it. They were basically just particular promo cards. That was, let me see what was in there. There was Conflagration, Fate's Hand. There was Harvest Festival, Floral Fencer, and I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. But essentially, this was the only one that actually had promo cards as the topper. And I guess I should also say promo cards that are in-deck playable cards. The second printing of the boxes you can pick up for about 44s right now. The original printing is 85 with a market price of about 65. If you want booster cases, the original printing has a listing for almost 1200 and the second printing doesn't have any right now, but has a market price of 588. Now this is set 1, so it has the nostalgia value for it if you want to keep it sealed, especially if you have the first printing of it. I don't even know if there's a way to distinguish between the first and second printing based off the actual packaging. I actually still have a box of the first printing sealed, but there's no first edition labeled on it. There is a possibility that the second printing may have second edition on them, but I have yet to actually see one, so I can't be certain. In any case, I would say it's really just worth for its nostalgia value. Singles wise, there isn't a lot to pick up anymore in here because a good amount of it has been reprinted, except for Forte. Well, I guess when you consider. I guess when I say reprinted, I mean reprinted and pretty accessible. There's also a card in here, the Ultimate Rare of Gabrielle, which this card was not very popular to play in a lot of decks beforehand, and nowadays I don't think it really gets played at all. But there is some interest in it. We've been seeing a few sales of it recently, and it has 6 listings on the market right now. It has been getting bought in the last few months from a range of about $12 to $16. So ultimately, it's still a really cheap one to pick up. But the lowest listing is now $20, and we only have 2 listings underneath $30 right now. Seems someone did actually put a graded version up for 100, which is a 9.5. The highest listing that's available on here is 777s plus shipping and handling. I mean, if you have a graded 9.5 for just 100, there's no way that's going to sell anyway. Reign of Bahamut, which was our second set. This set doesn't have a lot going for it. I mean, the biggest thing that's in here is probably Vania right now. The biggest thing that was in this set before, though, was Dark Angel Olivia, which eventually got reprinted as part of Glory Finder. And then the boxes themselves are now around 30s, which that's cheap for any Shadowverse box in general. But because the ultimate rares in this set are not too expensive, even then it's still not too much value to pick up a box of this set unless you're able to pull an Ultimate Vania. There aren't too many cards left in here that have a lot of lasting value. And then cases where this is also the first case that changed from the ratio of 20 per case to 16. The other good thing about set 1 was that if you do get a case of that, you get 20 boxes per case. But this is the first one to start establishing 16. And a case of this one is available for around $685, which is, I mean, if you were to pick up 8 boxes at 40, that would be 320. So basically, we're looking at over $40 per box to pick up a case here, which ultimately you might as well just pick up the individual boxes unless you want guaranteed opportunities for the ultimates. The other problem with this set is this set only contains 2 leader cards among their possible box pack pulls, meaning that the leader cards in here don't have a significant amount of value since you only have 2 to choose from. Flame of Levitine has a decent amount of value to it. This is the first set that introduced the Fables to us. So we have Alice, Dark Alice, Cinderella, Jabberwock is in here. This also introduced the Levitine Dragon set as well as the Hero set, which the Hero set continues to get some support here and there. The Levitine Dragons also have been getting some new support. Fables continue to get support here and there as well. So there is a decent amount of value in this set. But at $53 a box, I don't really think so. Especially since a case overall, not even being at $700, right? It's $675 to pick up a case at its lowest with a market price of $695 right now. So a case is worth less than the individual box pricing over here. You can always shop around to see if you can find some cheaper box prices. Leader card wise, in this one, you have the Shadowverse anime characters. What is it? Shadowverse Flame? Basically, the characters who comes out of that season onward. The original Shadowverse anime, none of their characters are actually in any of these packs as leaders. And I personally didn't really enjoy the Shadowverse anime, so I don't find a lot of value in it. But for those who did enjoy Shadowverse Flame, you do have the opportunity to pick up leader cards from here. Cosmic Mythos, which is set 4. This one gave us Israfil and also brought us honestly, you didn't bring us anything really specific. This set has a lot of different support cards that can be applied to different decks. It gave us some more support for Departed for Abysscraft, but otherwise, it's really a lot of toss-ups. Like Giant Chimera's in here, Sukuna and Elephant are in here for Forest Craft. You also have, I think his name is Perseus, which is a gold, which has some significant value for Rush Swordcraft decks. And the other big thing in here would be the dual support of Code Geass. So this set is unique in giving us alt arts for cards that exist in the set already, but they use Code Geass characters and artwork for each of them. In addition to that, there are also the Code Geass leader cards, and Lelouch Lamperouge, or Lelouch V Britannia, is an exclusive one where it has a regular leader card version, and it also has a signed version with a slightly different artwork featuring him using his Geass. Now, Cosmic Mythos is expensive right now. It's $77 for a box with a market price of over $64, and a case is currently $1,500 with a market price of $1,000. This also has 16 boxes in it, and these still maintain 16 packs per box as compared to the current 12 packs per box right now. Even so, this is very high priced, but there are some good support cards in here, but in this case, I think the singles are still more worth. Even if you're going after the Code Geass leaders, they are starting to decrease in value overall, so I don't think there is a lot of value going for the sealed for this one. Omens Eternal. This one is our first anniversary set, and this one also introduced one of the most popular archetypes of the Shadowverse universe, the Omens. This includes cards like Lishena and Izunda. There's also Galmu and Octris. There are lots of different popular units in this one, which will continue to get support as we go along, and we've been getting support from them. Set 8 has given them new support, and then we got some more support for a few more of them afterward, and we should continue to get new ones as well. Box prices right now are $98 with a market price of about $73. No cases left, and because this one was our first anniversary celebration for Shadowverse Evolve, there is the opportunity to get anniversary rares, just like with set 10. But at $100 a box, I still think you're better off just going for the singles for this one, unless you're really itching to try your hand at getting an anniversary rare. I'm not sure if they've all been pulled yet. But if you want to gamble on that, that's fair. And there are still some pretty good leader cards you can pull out of this one. I mean, there's the Albert, which I talked about last week at $900. No. But there is An and Greya in here. And some of the Omens are getting reprinted as part of Seaside Memories, but not all of them. So for the ones that aren't, there's still more value in picking up the singles, unless, again, you're trying to get the anniversary rares. Paragons of the Colosseum. This one is also filled with a lot more generics, but as far as archetypes go, this one also gives us the Shikigami archetype and Quan. Quan was the big card out of this set, but there are some other good cards in this one, like Amataz, and what else is in here? Ramia was introduced in here, which is getting reprinted in Seaside, but until that gets reprinted, it's still a pretty significant card to grab out of here. $54 right now for boxes, and about $670 to pick up a case. This is still 16 boxes, so it's not bad for a case price right now until we start seeing the reprints of a few of the cards in here. But with cards like Almatas and Quan not getting any reprints, there's still some value in this set overall. However, they're still not too expensive to pick up the singles. So ultimately, if you're just looking for singles, you're probably better off just going for those anyway. There's not as much value in picking up the set. This is also one of those sets with only 2 leaders that you can potentially pull, so that decreases the value of the leaders that you pull out of this one. The promo of Boost Kicker that comes out of one of the promo packs for the last BCS, I believe it was the BCS, is currently at $19 at its low with eight listings available. And for the most part, it tops out at $23 right now, and only the lowest listings have multiple copies that are available. Otherwise, it's mostly a bunch of single ones for around $21. Jerva Draconic Mail has a few listings back on the market for its regular legendary, but they start at $7 and then they go to $10. Jerva is still a pretty solid option for most dragon decks. And right now, any ones that have been on the market, looks like we had a few that sold for $5 over the last week, and then one for $7. But ultimately, this card is a pretty solid multi-dollar one, but it's still under 10 in terms of its actual sales. While the Mysteria archetype is going to be getting some reprints in Seaside Memories, do keep in mind that if you are trying to build the deck, anything that's not reprinted is still going to be a little harder to obtain because it all came from set 9. As an example, Greya's Ember. It's easy to grab right now, the market price is still under 50 cents and the low listing's 25 cents, but if you're trying to bling it out, the foil of it is currently under $5 with a market price of also under $5, and there's only one listing there. As I've said before with set 9, a lot of the stuff that you'll want to pick up in here can be significantly valued in the future with more support as we go along. So, best just to grab what you want now before any of it really takes off. Mysterian is a likely, or I should say academic, is a plausible one to see more support in the future given the popularity of the characters. And that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.